Okay, so now we are going to learn a higher framework known as Spring IOC framework, because we have in our project we have used Spring IOC for creating objects. We have used Spring JDBC for making the database connection and handling the CRUD operations. We have used Spring MVC for handling between the front end and the back end, the interaction. Okay, now coming to Spring IOC. Okay, so Spring framework implementation of inversion of control it will do. What is the meaning of inversion of control? Means what? Spring proudly says, don't create objects for me, I will create it for you. Simple thing to remember. Don't create objects for me, I will create it for you. Okay, that's why it is called inversion of control. Means the control is not given to the programmer, instead the control is given to the Spring framework. Okay, and one more concept we have to know, something known as dependency injection. Okay, what is dependency injection? Means say suppose one object needs are dependent upon some other object, then we can inject some other object into this object. One object depends on some other object. Okay, that some other object can be injected into this object. Okay, so means what? Example, easy example is, say for example we have learned about the calculator program. Okay, we had created a addition class, we had created a subtraction class, we had created a calculator class. Inside calculator, manually we created an object of addition, object of subtraction, and then we called their corresponding methods. So now calculator object depends upon addition object, subtraction object. Now to this calculator, giving the object of addition and subtraction automatically is called as a dependency injection. Okay, now okay, what happens behind the scenes? What happens behind the scenes is our business object will be there, and there will be something known as configuration metadata. Configuration metadata is nothing but a XML file wherein you will define the classes. Okay, that is called as configuration metadata. Once you give your configuration metadata and once you give your classes to the Spring container, it will produce a fully configured system ready to use. Means what? It will create objects automatically and it will keep in its pool. Okay, it needs a XML file wherein you have defined your classes, plus it needs your Java classes. Both if we give, it will create automatically the objects when the application starts, plus it will inject the objects using dependency injection. Okay, and all those things will be readily available into a fully configured system, and that fully configured system is called as an application context. Okay, now for example, okay, step number 1 is how we can say a class, how we can make a Java class managed by Spring. Is in a XML file we have to define bean id is equal to name, class equal to package name dot class name. Bean id is equal to name, some unique name for the class, and then class is equal to package name dot class name. For example, addition, we can say bean id is equal to addition obj, addition object, class is equal to com dot, okay, say it is in the package com dot calculator, com dot calculator dot addition. So the package name is com dot calculator where the class resides, and the actual class name is addition. Okay, like that. Suppose if I want to achieve the calculator example, I will define 3 beans, one for addition, one for subtraction, one for calculator. Okay, so step 1 is this. Then after that, next thing is, say for example, now one object needs the other object. At that time, we have to use a ref attribute, property name equal to the variable name that we have used in the class. We'll see with an example. Ref is equal to name of the bean. Okay, step 2 is, we have to, if one object depends upon some other object, example calculator depends upon the addition object. Therefore, inside the calculator bean, we will write property name equal to what variable name we have used in the calculator class for addition. Okay, so addition, ref is equal to addition bean. What is the unique bean ID for addition? That we have to give here. Okay, then we have to have a setter for variable name. Okay, so generally in Java, okay, there is a concept of something known as plain old Java objects. Okay, So what is a plain old Java object is, suppose if we have some class A, we can have a set A function which is used to set the object, and we can have a get A function which is used to return the object. So the combination of the variable A and the setter and a getter is called as a POJO. Okay, we'll see with an example. Here set keyword, if you have used say add, means you will say set of add, means whatever the first value is you will make it capital. Okay, that is called as a setter. Getter means get, whatever small is there you will say capital, get of add. Getter is used to return the value, setter is used to set the value. Therefore, if you want the dependency injection to work, point number 1 is create the bean class. Point number 2 is create a property name equal to ref equal to, and point number 3 is you need to have a setter for that particular variable. Okay, now who maintains the objects in Spring? I told you it will be Spring container. The Spring container will have access to something known as fully configured system application context. Okay, now inside the Spring container I have my object addition, subtraction, calculator. So this can be accessed by only one class known as application context, which is an interface of Spring. Okay, so how we can access in the program that application context is, we have to say application context ctx is equal to new class path XML application context, give the file name .xml where you have defined the beans. Okay, therefore we'll say application context ctx is equal to new class path XML application context, the name of the bean XML. Okay, so this much is sufficient for your Spring IOC to work. Okay, like that there are many techniques. There is @bean @configuration, wherein you will not create XML file, you can do directly through Java, but in our project we have used a bean based configuration, therefore this much is enough. So now point number 1, if I want to make an object work with Spring, I have to define it as bean id is equal to class is equal to, say if I have some dependent object, I will say property name equal to ref equal to, and have a setter. If I want to access the bean, I'll say application context ctx is equal to new class path XML application context, give the name of the XML file where I have defined the beans. Now if I want the object, this will give just the context. If I want the object, I'll say context.getBean, give the bean id, I'll get the object. Okay, now let us go back and let us go through once. Okay, we had done some calculator example yesterday. Okay, so we'll go through once the test calculator. If you see in this test calculator, how I am creating an object of a calculator, new calculator. Then after that, when it use a do operation, okay, if it is add, I am creating object manually. Addition add is equal to new addition. Then subtraction sub is equal to new subtraction, means addition and subtraction object are required by calculator. I am creating it by using new. Okay, say for example, this application is hosted. Okay, and your calculator service is available through a UI. There the user is entering number and clicking on add, clicking on subtract. So what will happen is, how many users hit the application, there will be so many times new getting called, there will be so many objects. So million users hit, million objects inside the JVM. There will be a limit for the Java virtual machine. If it exceeds that limit, it will burst. So what is the advantage you are getting using Spring IOC? All your addition, subtraction and calculator object will be in the fully configured system. Okay, and it will give for a request one, take the addition object, take the subtraction, take the calculator, work is done, give it back to me, I'll reuse it. Okay, so that is one more advantage of Spring IOC, the performance will be improved. Okay, so now let us go back. Okay, now let us see how this calculator program can be redesigned using Spring IOC. Okay, so I am importing the Spring IOC project. I'll go back to this and I will click on finish. Okay, now when I go to session 2 Java projects, okay, now I'll go and open this beans.xml. Okay, so if you see, I have created an addition bean. Step number 1, bean id is equal to addition, class is equal to learn Spring IOC beans, package name, class name. Then I have created a subtraction bean. Bean ID is equal to subtract. Learn Spring IOC bean subtraction. Then I have created a bean calculator class. Learn Spring IOC beans calculator. Okay, but this calculator depends upon two things, the addition and subtraction class. That's why I am saying property name equal to addition, ref equal to addition, property name equal to subtract, ref equal to subtract. Okay, now before going further, okay, let us go and see. If you see, learn Spring IOC bean is the package under which we have addition, calculator, subtraction class. Therefore that package name I have used here during the bean definitions. Okay, next let us go to calculator. If you go to calculator, see it has the variable name what? Addition. It has the variable name subtract. Therefore we have to be very much careful. Here whatever in the Java class you have used the variable name, that you have to use addition and then subtract. Okay, ref is the name of the bean, addition bean, subtraction bean. Okay, so purposefully what I'll do is, okay, for you to not confuse, I'll say this as addition bean, I'll say this as subtraction bean, and I'll say this as calculator bean, and then I'll use in the ref the addition bean, and here I'll use the subtraction bean. But here these are the variables used in the class. Okay, and this is the name of the bean IDs. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll go to, okay, here, okay, I'll go back to calculator. Our step number 3 was, after defining the bean, use the property name equal to ref equal to define a setter. Therefore if you see, you have public, this is how we write a setter, void set, what is the value of the variable? Addition. If a is becoming capital, addition, this dot addition is equal to addition. Purposefully I have written a sysout for you to understand how Spring IOC works internally. Okay, then after that, now we have subtract. Again I have written a set subtract. Okay, I have written a setter for the subtract variable. Therefore if I want the Spring IOC to work, I have to define the beans. Okay, so this is called as inversion of control, done. If I want to achieve dependency injection, calculator depends. Okay, therefore I will say, okay, property name equal to variable name that we have used in the class, ref is equal to the bean ID. Like that, how many dependent beans we have, we can define so many properties. Plus the third step, we need to have, for the variable name we need to have a setter. For how many objects we want to inject, we need to have so many setters. Okay, here if you see in this entire program, I have not used new for addition and subtraction. I have just used addition dot add, subtract dot sub. So who is giving the objects to calculator? Spring will give. We'll see how it will give. Then after that, next thing is, okay, now my fully configured system is ready. Okay, but how to access it? Application context ctx is equal to new class path XML application context beans.xml, because there I have defined the beans. Therefore if I go back here, okay, this is the test class which I have written. Okay, context.getBean. Here the bean ID for calculator I have changed to calculator bean. I'll go and put here the calculator bean. Okay, application context ctx is equal to new class path XML application context, the name of the XML file where we have defined the beans. And then how to obtain an object of any class, we'll say context.getBean, give the bean ID. Because calculator bean belongs to the calculator object, I am returning back the calculator, type casting it to calculator. I can say here addition bean. At that time I can directly call the addition function. Here I'll use addition. Okay, therefore class name some variable, typecast it to class name, context.getBean, give the bean ID. This is how you can access the object. Now I am saying do operation 10 and 20 add, addition is, then again I am calling do operation sub, the subtraction is. Now when I run this, so what has happened is, if you see, loading XML bean definitions from class path. Therefore during the startup it is looking for the application context fully configured system it is creating. How it is creating? By calling the addition constructor, because it is I am not saying new addition. It has called the constructor automatically. Means what? Spring internally has created objects automatically. Okay. Therefore, when you go to addition, purposefully I have written a constructor in all the classes. Therefore, we can understand this. That's why I have written a constructor. Now I'll go back here. Okay, I'll close the session 1 because that is not required now. I'll go back to addition. If you see the addition class, you have a constructor addition constructor called. Whenever an object of a class is created, its default constructor will get called. Therefore, I am not calling new addition, but automatically it has got called because Spring has created an object automatically. Okay. Then after that, if you see subtraction constructor called. Therefore, now if I open a subtraction class, there is a constructor subtraction constructor called. Okay. Then after that, if you see there is third statement calculator constructor called. Therefore, if I go over here, okay, calculator constructor called. So now our beans are available in the fully configured system when the application starts up. Now what will happen is I have said here context.getBean calculator bean. As soon as I am requesting the object of calculator, the Spring will see, okay, calculator, does it need any dependencies? Okay, so it needs two dependencies, the addition class, subtraction class. See what will happen in the console output. It is calling addition object injected, subtraction object injected. So what will happen is, if you go to calculator class, there is a set addition setter will get called, and object is given to calculator from Spring by calling a setter. Okay, then again it is calling set subtraction object injected, it is giving this subtract to the calculator class. Okay, therefore you saw here, okay, the addition object injected, the subtraction object injected. After that it is a normal flow. Okay, therefore now you have to remember one thing is, okay, setter is called by Spring, objects are created by Spring. Okay, now after that, say for example here, okay, now let us go and see, after subtraction object injected we are calling do operation. Okay, therefore it will come here, what is there sysout, do operation called. Therefore it is saying, okay, do operation called. Okay, now after that if type equal to add, therefore first time I am passing the type as add. Therefore what it has done, return addition dot add, it has called the add function, but it has not said new addition dot add. Okay, I have said dot add directly on addition, it will return a plus b, it will give it back to the calculator, it will return it back to the main caller. Therefore addition is will get printed. Then in the same way do operation called, the subtraction is will get printed. Okay, now what I'll do is purposefully, okay, just for testing purpose, I'll go to beans.xml. okay, I will just comment this out, I'll not inject this. Okay, let us re-execute this, let us see what will happen. After executing the addition, it is throwing null pointer exception, where it is throwing the null pointer exception under subtract, because subtract object is null now, it is not injected. Okay, because we have skipped that bean, that is property name equal to ref equal to, setter has not got called, that's why object is not available. Okay, therefore, okay, you now see how the object is getting injected is because of definition of property and usage of setters. Okay, this is what you have to remember in case of Spring.